On the show, in Wheel Spin, we drive the new Audi TT. In Wheel Spin, we also ride the biggest Benelli, the TNT 1130R. And on the road, we drive the Volkswagen Jetta to Panchgani. What I have with me today is a car which has got brand Audi a lot of attention when it was launched way back in 1998. And over the years, it has become somewhat of a design icon. Audi recently relaunched this car and they call it redesigned, re-engineered and reborn. And when I look at this car, I tend to somewhat believe it because this still looks very fresh and still makes a statement in terms of the design. The new Audi TT. The TT was one of the first cars that helped Audi make a turnaround in terms of the design after they hired J. Mays as their chief designer. And the TT, with a cute, attractive styling, caught the eye the most when it was launched, and as over the years it evolved, few of the design elements changed. But essentially it still retains its basic lines and the unmistakable TT flavor in terms of visual appeal. But this new one looks more wholesome and balanced. If this new TT here looks like a new car to you, then it should, because this is indeed a new car. This is the third generation of the TT and this one sits on a brand new platform, and the styling too is all new with a new front end which includes the grille, the lamps and of course the nose. The rear too has had many changes, but wait till I show you the interiors because that's where the biggest change perhaps is. In terms of dimension, this new TT is exactly the same as far as the width, height and the length goes. But the wheelbase has gone up by 37 millimeters, which means more space inside. And the new design now looks much more contemporary, and even the insides have had a major change for the better. When you step inside this new TT here, one thing you're sure to do is like it. Because this is where sports meets luxury. You have nice leather seats here, but they also have huge bolstering on the side to hold you during cornering. A real sports car-like feeling you get when you sit on these seats. A short gear lever here, but with chrome garnishing to liven up things. But then everything inside the cabin here is built to a purpose, and you can see it in the aircon vents here. Beautiful turbine-shaped vents here, but they also house the controls for the fan, for the temperature and the direction of the airthrow. The steering wheel here is small, leather-wrapped, flat-bottomed, very sports car-like, but it also has a functional element to it. It has multifunction buttons on it with which you can call up the information you need and also tune your radio. But the best part here is the instrumentational panel. Normally as a practice, Audi has the display here which slides out for their MMI, but not so in this TT. And this is really funky stuff. I'm sure you won't like it. Let me show you. The instrumentation panel is what really makes the TT stand out in terms of the drama it creates. The large display speedo and the tacho can be minimized if you want to use the navigation or even the radio. And the reverse camera display is here as well, and depending on your need you can minimize or maximize the display. And this not only makes the instrumentation panel attractive, but it is also very useful while driving, as you really don't have to take your eyes off the road and look elsewhere. Overall, the interiors of this Audi TT is extremely inviting and it just encourages you to drive hard. And then there are little frills like the Bang & Olufsen sound system with 12 speakers and the lights which are soft touch. And to add to the practicality, the TT comes with 2+2 seating which fold down to increase the luggage compartment. And the hatch is big enough for a weekend getaway with 305 liters of boot space, which too has increased in this new TT by 13 liters. This new Audi TT is powered by a 2-liter TFSI petrol engine, and this produces over 200 brake horsepower. Well, you might say that this 2-liter engine and this 230 brake horsepower that it belts out might not be enough for a sports car. But keep in mind the fact that this TT only weighs 1.2 tons, which means that this car does have a very nice power to weight ratio, which in turn means that this gets to the 100-kilometer mark in just 5.3 seconds. The new TT sits on an aluminum space frame, which is light and flexible and makes the chassis quite dynamic. And another area where Audi has worked on is weight reduction. And this you can see on everything from the seats to the alloys to the frame. Consequently, the new TT has become much more lighter and more dynamic in terms of handling. The only area where this new TT seems to have lost out is in terms of the ground clearance, as this one only clears 115 millimeters instead of the 160 millimeters on the old one. And the biggest addition to this new TT is the addition of the Quattro. Quattro means the permanent all-wheel drive, which means that this TT handles a whole lot better than the outgoing model. In fact, you can really throw her around into fast corners and she holds the line very well. With a short wheelbase, a lightweight chassis and plenty of power coming from the engine, this Audi TT is quite a nice, pleasurable car to drive. The engine is mated to a 6-speed S-tronic dual-clutch transmission with different options like sport and comfort, with paddle shifts for quick gear shifting. The TT also comes with traction control and electronic limited slip differential and torque vectoring to enable it to corner more like a sports car, and it is equipped with 6 airbags as well for safety. This new Audi TT here is a car which has got fun written all over it. And if you do happen to spend some time behind the wheel of this car, I'm sure you're going to be thoroughly entertained. Okay, the 2-liter engine here is not really monstrous by supercar standards, but then it does produce a spirited enough performance to help you dart from one traffic light to another with real ease. And the addition of the Quattro does improve matters in terms of the handling. And what I really love are the interiors. The interior's got that nice sports car-like feel with leather all around, a flat bottom, small steering wheel, and all the information coming to you straight from the instrumentation cluster, which is so very easy to read. The TT has never been a bad-looking car, but I think this is the best-looking TT ever. And in terms of pricing, of course, this is the cheapest sports car in the Indian market. So if a sports car is on your list, then I think you do well to have a look at this one. Audi launched this new TT this week and priced it at Rs 60.34 lakhs ex-showroom Delhi, which is very comparable to the outgoing model. But in terms of the car, what you now get is certainly a much more evolved package than the old one. Coming up next, in wheel spin, we ride the biggest Benelli, the TNT 1130R.
What we've got here is the Benelli TNT 1130R. This is the biggest, baddest bike in Benelli's range. So how does it feel to ride such an explosive motorcycle? We're about to find out.
Benelli. The name might conjure up images of Italian exotica to some, while others may not even have heard of the brand. But suffice to say, this motorcycle company has the right pedigree. Founded in 1911 in Pesaro, Italy, to repair bicycles, Benelli was soon making its own little two-stroke engine. Suffering and surviving the churn of post-World War II Europe, Benelli enjoyed a modicum of success in racing, winning the iconic Isle of Man TT in the 250cc class in 1969.
The Benelli TNT is a 10-year-old design, but looking at it, would you even think that for a moment? I don't think so. Check out these lovely bug-eyed headlamps, the side-mounted radiator, and the twin-spar tubular trellis frame. These are all key elements to the Benelli TNT's design. And what does TNT stand for? It stands for Tornado Naked Tre.
TNT, or trinitrotoluene, is a commonly used explosive by mining companies and the military. However, this motorbike pays homage to the original Benelli Tornado from 1969, but with its engine derived from the 3-cylinder power plant of the Tornado TRE 900 from 2002. Nuda or naked for its fairingless design, and Tre for its 3 cylinders. There you have it, TNT.
The bike we're testing here utilizes a dry clutch to send the power to the rear wheels. This engine has a 160 horsepower output. However, the bikes that are being homologated for sale in India will utilize a hydraulic clutch and would have a power output about 10 to 15 less than this motorcycle here.
Benelli's 3-cylinder engine has strong power and strong torque, making for effortless acceleration in almost any gear. Throttle response from 3000 RPM onwards is intoxicating, matched to an aggressive exhaust note which makes no attempt to hide this motorcycle's mean intentions. This big engine has real character, from the way it sounds to the way it pulls, but it undoubtedly is a thirsty bike. Ridden the way it seduces you to, the TNT R will manage barely 200 kilometers on a full tank, which is a real bummer. However, the lack of any wind protection combined with its explosive performance will mean your endurance will surely be tested before that.
Did I tell you? This Benelli even has a power control mode. You can access that by pressing this button here on the dashboard. In the normal mode, or the commuter mode as Benelli calls it, you have only 148 horsepower. But click this button and you get a full 160 horses on your right hand.
Top-notch chassis components include a beefy 50mm upside-down front fork from Italian specialist Marzocchi, while a fully adjustable sack shock holds up the rear. The frame and the swing arm are both made from tubes.
I'm just back from riding this bomb of a motorcycle, and I can assure you I've had a blast. The engine has oodles of torque. It pulls from literally any gear at almost any RPM. However, you need to keep the bike above 4000 RPM to get the best out of it. Below that engine speed, throttle response is a little snatchy, and you get few jerks through the driveline. The Benelli 1130R is actually quite a comfortable bike to ride. It has generous ergonomics, the reach to the controls is quite easy, and you really don't feel tired on the bike for long periods of time. However, the pillion saddle is a little cramped, which means if you're out for a longer ride with your girlfriend, she's not going to be particularly comfortable. If I have one grouse with this motorcycle, it has to do with the quality of the plastics and the switchgear. They're just not up to the mark for a premium motorcycle at this price point. Also, the mirrors, while they look very stylish, they aren't very practical or of much use. So in the final analysis, should you buy one? The Benelli TNT 1130R has oodles of performance. So much so that it's a wheelie hound in almost any gear. It's quite a handful to ride in tight traffic too, so bear that in mind. However, for just a shade under 12 lakh rupees ex-showroom, this is actually pretty decent value. Also, you can take comfort in the knowledge that Benelli already has 9 dealerships across the length and the breadth of this country and is going to add some more, which means that you will always get service no matter where you go.
Coming up next, on the road we drive the Volkswagen Jetta to Panchgani.
Muggy in Mumbai, so I'm really happy today to be heading to a beautiful, cool hill station in a beautiful car. Today I'm off to a destination that's supposedly gorgeous, and it's also really easy and convenient to get to for any Mumbaiker. I'm headed to Panchgani, and to take me there I have the fabulous Volkswagen Jetta, and this is a car I've driven before, so I know even before I'm behind the wheel that this one is a star. Let's roll! The Jetta I'm driving today is actually a little bit different from the one that I'd driven on an earlier trip, and the difference lies under the bonnet. This one is powered by a 1.4-litre gasoline engine mated to a 6-speed manual transmission because it's optimized for fuel efficiency. And this combination works really well because this car is able to deliver almost 15 kilometers per litre of gas, which I think is really impressive given the size of the car as well as the fact that it comes packed with features. Now that said, the engine is able to produce 122 horses as well as 200 Nm of peak torque, so I am looking forward to hitting the highway. Panchgani is a small town about 285 kilometers from Mumbai, nestled within the Sahyadris. It's known for its boarding schools and for its strawberry farms and has a distinctive old-world charm. It derives its name from the fact that it is surrounded by 5 hills or Panchgani. The Jetta is a dream to drive on this scenic route. Its flat-bottomed steering wheel with multi-function buttons, high-quality sound system and top-notch safety features including 6 airbags really makes it a winner. Land is meant to be my first stop, and it looks like the rain gods had the same plan. Well, luckily for me, it means that Panchgani's most popular tourist attraction is all mine today because the rain has certainly dissuaded everyone else. Unfortunately, though, it's also brought the fog with it, which has obscured my view a little, but you can see the lush forest that surround the area as well as the mountains in the distance if you look closely. I'm sure that this is only the beginning of a very beautiful trip. Tableland is the second longest mountain plateau in Asia, offering a magnificent view of the Krishna Valley and the town. It has even been featured in several Bollywood movies, more recently Tare Zameen Par and Agent Vinod. Fortunately for me, the rain has just cleared up right in time for my next stop. Another point well worth a visit is Sydney Point, from which you see the glittering waters of the Dhom Dam as well as the lush hills that surround it. And this is such a welcome contrast from the hectic buzz of city life. Even just breathing in the air here feels wonderful. There's nothing like being surrounded by the tranquility of nature. strawberries, the other thing that Panchgani is really well known for are its beautiful flowers. There's nurseries everywhere you go, and this is the best time of year because spring is turning to summer, so all the flowers are in full bloom. And you'll get to see whatever species you're looking for. I managed to catch anthuriums and orchids, morning glory in every shade possible, balsam, periwinkle. I mean, you name it and you'll find it here. And they're all just such rich, beautiful colors. It's truly a beautiful sight. If you're in Panchgani during the strawberry season, you really ought to order yourself copious amounts of strawberries and cream. After all, the strawberries are grown right here. Panchgani and Mahabaleshwar together produce the vast majority of India's strawberry crop, and I'm lucky enough to be here for the tail end of the season, so I thought I really definitely must get my fill before heading back. After that delicious treat, I thought I'd head down to one of the little strawberry farms nearby to check out how the crop is grown and to have the thrill of plucking a few myself. Outside each farm, you'll see tables laden with these freshly picked, juicy red berries for sale, and the farm owners will happily tell you all about the process of strawberry farming. Since I'm all the way here, I thought I'd also drive to Mahabaleshwar, which is only a short drive away. Of course, I'll take any excuse to get back into the Jetta and drive around the beautiful hills. Now, this is really the perfect car for a road trip. It has plenty of space both inside the cabin as well as in terms of boot space. So you have all the room you need for your whole family and for all your luggage. Check this out, it's 510 liters. During the British rule, Mahabaleshwar was the summer capital of the Bombay Presidency. It's another popular weekend escape for Mumbaikars, also famous for its stunning viewpoints and strawberry farms, a sister hill station to Panchgani. After a wonderfully relaxing trip to Panchgani, I have to head back to Mumbai, but I have to say that I'm super rejuvenated by this trip. Just being amidst nature, the visit to the strawberry farms and the viewing points has me so invigorated. And it was a delight to drive the Jetta. What a smooth and refined car. I'm sure that the kilometers to Mumbai are just going to be devoured by this car. So I'm sure I'll be home in no time. See you next week.